USA versus Russia military power. Who's actually stronger? A lot of people linked this over and said you should definitely check it out, especially after the march with USA versus China. Just looking at it, playing with the idea, just seeing. We're going to see it together. Come join me. I love you guys. Hope you're doing well. Let's see this together. Let's go. Disclaimer, this video is educated, not to inspire conflicts. Yes, I agree. Global rank number 1, USA. Global rank number 2. Really? I didn't even know that. Capital, Washington, D.C., Moscow. Really? Damn, almost double the size? I mean, I've heard about it in history class, a lot of it being like Russia could fit almost to United States. But even then, as a kid, obviously, I would think like, oh, Russia's so much better then. But then again, that's not really how it works, right? Because the United States has so much importance or value, at least for a lot of different nations. I think there's so much to it, so much like weird nuances to everything, especially now with what's going on economy-wise and so much more with after Russia, Ukraine. There's so much going on that kind of changes everything, especially now. So before, I don't even think that the size mattered. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't think the size really mattered anyways. It's more about weaponry, of course, but also history, right? History tells a lot of stories, like battles from before for the USA, battles before from Russia. I don't know. 342 million, 104. Wait, what? So they're almost double the size, but they have half the population. What is it, like all mountains in Russia and that you can't live there maybe? I don't know. Maybe people don't want to live there. I don't actually know. That's actually confusing. Maybe you guys could tell me that. Because if there's 342 million there and then there's 140 million, it's half the size. I actually can't even understand that. Like, genuinely. They just don't want to live in Russia, I guess. Nominal GDP. 30.6 trillion is 2.5 trillion. Isn't there something going on too, like a crash for a lot of Russians recently, right? Because I watched a video of like this old guy kind of explaining how much Russia has changed, and it made him really sad. Let me know about that. Purchasing power parity. What? Defense budget 901 billion. Holy moly, bro. Huge difference. 900 billion versus 86 billion. 8-9 times. Nuclear weapons. What? They have more. By the way, nuclear weapons, bro. Jeez, man. Terrifying. Terrifying, bro. Like, period, terrifying. No matter what nobody says. It's just the whole idea of it, like, let's not even talk about nuclear weapons, because for me, I feel like if somebody were to use it, the other one will use it out of ego or pride. And then what's going to happen is just nuclear war. And guess what happens? The world's done. The world's dead. We are all dead. So there is no point. And before people, again, I've even mentioned in my recent video, don't even mention Hiroshima or anything like that, right? Because at the end of the day, in my opinion, I think when you get into like ego heavy battles, it's going to get worse because now nukes are everywhere and even more prevalent. So now if you use one, they're going to use one, and then it's all out. And then they don't even get what they originally wanted, because if they were really originally wanted like to win over ego, then everyone dies. Then ego doesn't matter no more. Everyone's dead. There's no point. Because at least in like war and stuff, and I know that a lot of soldiers die, and war is horrible, period. I hate the idea of war. But the thing that kind of hurts to think about even more than war is the idea of like nuclear war. Because everyone's gone. It's done. And then no one wins. So there's no winner, right? Because it's like you were about to nuke everybody. Then it's like, okay, then they nuke you back with all of these before they go. Now what? Nobody won. So the nuclear weapons is like, whatever. Total personnel, 2.1 million. 3.3 million. Active, 1.3. Oh, so almost the same. Reserve personnel, 799,000. 2 million in reserve for Russia. Military forces, 0. Military forces, 250,000 for Russia. Armed forces, U.S. Army. And Armed Forces, Russia Army. Army personnel, 1.1 million for the U.S. Armed personnel, 600,000 for Russia. Combat tanks for USA is 4,600. Russia is 5,600. Total armored vehicles, 409,000. Holy moly, damn. Why quadruple or triple? Do you think that it actually might be different because the conditions that Russia is in, the armored vehicles probably have a hard time getting around? Maybe? Let me know. It'd be a lot more difficult. Infantry fighting vehicles, 10,000 for USA, 4,000 for Russia. Armored carriers, 6,800. Armored carriers, 5,800. MRAP. Oh, are these like satellite? Oh, no, these aren't. There's like a gun here. I don't actually know what these ones are. Only 300 for Russia on that one. Armored car, 145,000. Damn, 145,000 versus 20,000. Why does this tank have a big ass forehead? Self-propelled artillery. Oh. So what's the difference between that and a regular tank? A self-propelled artillery. Somebody's going to tell me. Somebody who's ridden a tank is going to tell me. They have more in Russia. 3,600. It's 1,500 for USA. Field artillery. Now this, of course. 5,920 is more in Russia. They have way more for that. Rocket projectors, 1,500, 2,400. Damn. The Air Force. Now, my friend is going to the Air Force, by the way. So. Air Force personnel, 708,000. Air Force, only 165,000 for Russia. Total aircraft, 13,000. And then Russia, 4,200. The fighter jets, here we go. Damn. 861. Dude, for some reason, I always had like the misconception of like, we have like millions of fighter jets, but we don't. They're like way too much. Aren't they like a billion or 10 billion each or something like that? Something crazy. Fighter jets. Or I don't know, 100 million each. I don't know. Attack aircraft, 926 versus 698 attack aircraft for Russia. Multi-role aircraft. Multi-role is like what? Some of them can be reconnaissance missions or something like that, or maybe a lot of them could be like spying. That's the only thing I can think of for multi-role at least. Because a lot of the time, especially growing up, I would think there was only fighter jets only existed, right? But obviously there's so much more to it with radar systems, with scanning. There's so much to it now with aircrafts. Bomber aircrafts, obviously, we know. That is terrifying. People think that's a damn spaceship, bro. On the USA side. Special missions, 611. Damn! Don't tell me that's actually how they look. That looks crazy. 137. Or is this like AI for this one? Man, that shit look crazy, bro. AWACS. 31 to 26. They look insane, bro. Reconnaissance, like I was mentioning, reconnaissance. 127 versus 34. Electronic warfare. Now, this is to what? Completely drown out, cancel out any kind of thing that they have scanning you in the air. They won't be able to see you in the air, manipulate the radar, right? Things like that. Trainer aircraft, 2,600 trainer aircraft, 530 only in Russia. Helicopters, 5,900, 1,600. Attack helicopters. Now this is where it can get kind of serious. 500 versus 1,000. Transport aircraft 900 versus 458. Tanker 49. Oh, this is like for them to fuel, right? Oh man, when you guys told me about this in a previous a long time ago video, you guys were mentioning, yeah, this is a very regular thing. Some of you guys were actually saying, and again, let me know in the comments, but you guys were saying that you usually do this a lot of the time, and it's very necessary, especially in missions where you have to go all across, especially some of the ones that have happened recently. You would have to refuel because you can't stop anywhere. And it's actually a very, very, very regular thing to do. And some of you who have been in the Air Force and flown these have done this yourself. UAV, we know this one, 3,300 versus 3,500. Navy, U.S. Navy, Russian Navy. Navy personnel, let's see, 612,000 versus 160,000. Damn. Total Navy assets, 465 versus 410. Some of them, they're just really close, and some of them are just completely like blown out the water in terms of numbers. Aircraft carriers, 11 versus only 1. Like what? Helicopter carriers, 9. 0 helicopter carriers, wow. Destroyers, 77 versus 9. Not even double like, you see what I mean? Like you never expect that. Frigates, okay, 2 versus 12. What? Corvettes, 27 versus 79. Holy shit. Submarine, 68 versus 66. See, and then they start getting close with certain ones, right? Submarine, depending, I guess, on what they would want to do with it. 0 patrol vessels versus 70. Mine warfare. But then again, also, it's a completely different environment, right? So maybe Russia needs more patrol vessels. The USA does not for the area that they're in. Mine warfare, 8. What? 45 for Russia. See, some of these I've never heard of. Merchant Marine, 3,500 versus 2,900. Ports and terminals, 35. And an 8 for Russia. Labor force 174 million versus 72 million. And obviously you're going to need that for military power comparison, because if they need to start recruiting, right? Kind of that idea. Airports, 15,000 versus only 900 for Russia. Oil production, 20.96 million barrels, which is 10.8. Jesus. Oil consumption, 20.3 million versus only 3 million. Damn, the USA uses way more. Oil proven reserve, 38.2 billion barrels versus 80 billion barrels for Russia. Roadway coverage, 6.5 million kilometers versus 1.2 million kilometers. Railway coverage, 293,000 versus 85,000. Waterways coverage, 41,000 kilometers versus 102,000 kilometers. I mean, at the end of the day, in my opinion, I think a lot of it is dependent on the environment, right? And a lot of you guys can correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, because I enjoy seeing videos like this because it shows you some things that you probably didn't know, or what's even changed after certain wars that have been going on. But especially, I think the significance of this video that I see, at least, is kind of just showing you how different it can be for different environments, right? Because the USA is kind of dealing with certain other things. So Russia may have a little more of this for this certain area just because of the place that they're in. And again, like I said, you guys can let me know your thoughts on this video, especially let me know if I'm wrong or correct me if I'm wrong on certain things. But regardless, thank you guys for linking this over. I love you guys. Please take care of yourself. Till next time. Peace.
How good you been living? Wait, how good you been living? I've been living too good for you. I've been living too. Did what I did and I do it again. Every move that I make, I ain't feeling repent. Nobody believes to believe it's a friend, and you question your moves like you really won't end. Really?